Hello students. So today we are going to discuss SN1 reaction. In last video we have started chemical properties of haloalkane, in which we have already seen SN2 reaction. So basically we know that nucleophilic substitution reaction are of two types, SN1 and SN2. We have already discussed SN2 reaction, and today we are going to discuss SN1 reaction. Okay, so what is SN1? S, substitution, N, nucleophilic, and 1, which means unimolecular. Okay, so the name of the reaction is substitution nucleophilic unimolecular reaction. Why it is known as substitution? Because nucleophile will substitute halogen. Nucleophilic, so nucleophile which are having negative charge, they will substitute halogen, and that is why it is known as nucleophilic substitution reaction. But the question is, why it is known as unimolecular reaction? Uni means single, mono, only one, which means the rate of this reaction, the rate of this substitution reaction depends only on one reactant only. This reaction is dependent on one reactant only, and that is why it is known as first unimolecular reaction. Alright, so SN2 reaction was bimolecular. The reason is because in that reaction two reactants are responsible for the rate of the reactions, whereas in this case the rate of this reaction depends on only one reactant. The rate of this reaction specifically depends on concentration of only one reactant, and that is why it is known as unimolecular reaction. Okay, the difference between SN2 and SN1 is SN2 undergoes in one step, whereas SN1 is carried out in two steps. And which are these two steps? So we are going to discuss today. Okay, now let us discuss detail of SN1 reaction. So what is SN1 reaction? So here tertiary haloalkane is there, tertiary haloalkane, and one nucleophile is there, let's say OH minus. Okay, now as we know, the name of this reaction suggests that there will be substitution of haloalkane by nucleophile, but here the solvent should be protic. Solvent should be protic. What does it mean? So for this reaction to be carried out, the solvent which are going to be used, or the solvent which is being used, it should be protic. Protic means it should have proton, it should have H plus. So solvent must possess H plus, proton, protic. So the main condition for this reaction is the solvent should be protic, it should be having proton, it should be having H plus, and that H plus is going to be useful for the mechanism of this reaction. Okay, so we have got haloalkane, we have taken tertiary haloalkane, we have got nucleophile. OH minus is a nucleophile. Okay, in presence of protic solvent, right? So what are the solvents which are used for the SN1 reaction? So we can use H2O, which can give proton, we can use alcohol, which can give proton, or we can use acetic acid. So these are the solvents which are having proton and they can donate protons. So those solvents which can donate proton are known as protic solvents. And for the SN1 reaction, protic solvents are used. Okay, now here tertiary haloalkane is there, here nucleophile is there. Now as we know, there will be substitution of halogen by nucleophile. So halogen will be removed, and instead of halogen there will be nucleophile, and halogen bromine will be removed as bromide ion. So this is basic step of SN1 reaction. Halogen is substituted by nucleophile and we will get alcohol and halide ion. Okay, so this is main step, basic step. Now we'll see mechanism of this step. Mechanism, how this reaction is carried out. So first step is ethyl propane, 2 bromo 2 methyl propane. Okay, and nucleophile is OH minus. In first step, the bond between carbon and halogen becomes weak in presence of proton, in presence of protic solvent. In presence of protic solvent, this bond becomes weak. So first of all, we'll get tertiary carbocation. Here, tertiary carbocation is formed. Why tertiary carbocation is formed? Because bromine ion is removed and it is having both these electrons. So bromine ion is removed by getting these 2 electrons. So bromide ion is released. So there is no electron over here. So there will be positive charge, and that is why carbocation is formed. Carbocation is formed. So in first step, there is release of halogen and formation of carbocation. Why positive ion is there? Because bromine is releasing by getting these 2 electrons. So these 2 electrons are gained by bromine and it will be released as bromide ion. So carbon is not having any electrons, then that is why positive charge is written here. And if carbon is having positive charge, that is known as carbocation. So in first step, carbocation is formed. Now in second step, so we have got carbocation. In second step, negative charge of nucleophile will attack on carbon. This negative charge of nucleophile will attack on this carbon and it will form alcohol. So this is the final product that we are obtaining. Okay. So in first step, and which is rate limiting step. In first step, in presence of protic solvent, the bond between carbon and halogen becomes weak and halogen is released as bromide ion and we will get carbocation. In second step, there is attraction of nucleophile which is having negative charge. So there is attraction between nucleophile and carbocation. So OH minus will attack on this carbon and it will form alcohol. Now, so this reaction is taking place in 2 steps. Step number 1 is slow step and step number 2 is fast. So this is slow, this is fast. Okay. Now, slow step is always a rate determining step. So this is a rate determining step. Rate determining, which means the rate of this reaction depends on this reaction. The first reaction, step 1, is responsible for the overall rate of this reaction. Okay. Now, as we know that this is SN1, unimolecular reaction, which means this reaction depends on only one reactant, one substance, and that reactant is haloalkane. So this reaction is dependent on the concentration of haloalkane. Okay. Now, as the concentration changes of haloalkane, the rate of the reaction changes, and that is why it is known as unimolecular reaction. The rate depends on only one reactant and the reactant is haloalkane. Okay. Now, this reaction is taking place in presence of protein solvent. So protic solvent is responsible for the removal of halide ion and formation of carbocation. And this is slow step. So the concentration of this haloalkane will determine the overall rate of this reaction, and that is why it is known as SN1 reaction. Okay. Now, why we have taken tertiary haloalkane, and in SN2 reaction we have taken primary haloalkane. The reason is we are getting carbocation, and as we know that tertiary carbocation is more stable compared to secondary and primary, and the reason is methyl groups are electron donating, so they will donate electron, and because of this the positive charge of carbon will be decreased, and because of that it will be more stable, which means that tertiary carbocation is more stable compared to secondary and compared to primary, and that is why the reaction is the reactivity order of this reaction is tertiary is more reactive than secondary, secondary is more reactive than primary. So remember this rate. In case of SN2, the reactivity order was primary is more reactive than secondary and secondary is more reactive than tertiary. But here the reactivity order is 3 to 1. Tertiary is more reactive than secondary and secondary is more reactive than primary, because tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary and primary. So remember the order. In SN2 it was 1 2 3, in SN1 it is 3 2 1. So remember the reactivity order. Okay. Now in the beginning of the chapter we had seen two terminologies, allylic and benzylic. Now for the SN1 reaction, both allylic and benzylic are more reactive. Allylic compounds and benzylic compounds are more reactive for SN1 reaction. Okay, what is the reason? So in case of allylic, so here CH2 double bond CH, CH2Cl. This is allylic haloalkane. Okay, now halogen will be released, so we'll get CH2 double bond CH, CH2 plus. Carbocation will be formed in SN1 reaction. Now, this carbocation will undergo resonance. So there will be resonance here. So these electrons will transfer over here. So we'll get positive charge here and double bond here. So there is resonance stabilization of allylic carbocation, and that is why the reactivity of allylic compound is more in case of SN1 reaction. Okay, again. Allylic compounds are more reactive for SN1 reaction, and the reason is this is allylic compound. If it undergoes SN1 reaction, there will be release of chlorine ion, chloride ion. So here we will get carbocation. Now this positive charge will attract pi electron. So pi electron will come over here and there will be positive charge. So there is resonance between these two structures. So this allylic carbocation will undergo resonance and it will be stable, and that is why it is more reactive for SN1 reaction. Now what is the reason between for benzylic reactivity? Okay. So for compounds like benzylic, so this is benzylic. So sorry, this is benzylic compound. Now as we know, halogen will be released and there will be formation of carbocation. Now because of this, here positive charge is coming and this positive charge will attract pi bond electrons. So these electrons will be attracted. So we will get compounds like this. CH2, and here because pi bond electrons have shifted over here, so there will be positive charge here. Now this positive charge will attract pi bond electrons, so we will get these electrons will be shifted over here, so here positive charge will come and here pi bond will be there. Now this positive charge is again attacking these electrons, so the structure will be like this. And here positive charge will come, here CH2 is there. Now this positive charge will attract electrons from here, so there is resonance stabilization of this benzylic compound, and because of this resonance stabilization, benzylic compounds are more reactive. So in case of SN1, allylic and benzylic compounds are more reactive for SN1. The main reason is they undergo resonance, and because of resonance, as we know, there is more stability. So because of resonance stability, benzylic and allylic compounds are more stable. Okay, now we'll discuss some examples. Like, question is, this is CH2Cl and this is chlorocyclohexane. Now the question is, which of these two compounds will undergo SN2 reaction more faster? So this is more reactive or this is more reactive? The question is like this. Among these two compounds, which is more reactive for SN2? Okay, so the answer is this compound is more reactive for SN2, and the reason is for SN2 the reactivity order is primary, secondary and tertiary. And as we know, this is primary primary haloarine, and that is why this is more reactive. This is primary compound, and because of this it is more reactive for SN2 reaction. Second question is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH2I, CH3, CH2, CH2Cl. Among these two compounds, which is more reactive for SN2? Okay, and the answer is butyl iodide or iodobutane. The reason is the size of the iodine is more, and because of the size, the bond is easily broken, and the bond is easily broken, that is why it is more reactive. So the size of the halogen always matters. Larger the size, weaker the bond, and weaker the bond, it can be easily released, and that is why it is more reactive. So this kind of questions can be asked in exam. Okay.